Dark Knight Strikes Again, right? I almost said Dark Knight Returns. Dark Knight Strikes Again. Which if you read Dark Knight Strikes Again outside of Dark Knight Returns, if you just read Dark Knight Strikes Again, it's entertaining as all hell.
The next thing I'm going to be doing is drawing for a few months, and we're planning on starting shooting sometime around November.
And the casting's all done?
Oh, the casting's just getting started.
You can't let out any names yet, can you?
No. And some serious talks with Samuel Jackson. Wanted to play the...
AKA Padders! Today we're talking Frank Miller. We don't discuss him enough on this channel, mostly because everyone else does, and it's hard to kind of add perspective and insight to that dude's career. But we have a movie that he directed, The Spirit. A lot of you guys probably forgot that he made his own movie based on Will Eisner's The Spirit. Will Eisner, who maybe next to Frank Miller, maybe next to John Byrne, maybe next to Jack Kirby and Stan Lee, maybe next to Alan Moore, but Will Eisner is right at the top of the greatest comic book creators. And we get to two of the greatest comic book creators, Frank Miller and Will Eisner, and the power of Hollywood, because so many people are in this movie. Samuel Jackson, ScarJo, and the list goes on and on. But we have the book here. And what's in this book? Well, this is the amazing thing. There's a lot of Frank Miller artwork in the Art of the Spirit, the Making of the Spirit book. This sucker is cheapy cheap all over Amazon, all over eBay. Do the AKA Pad Effect. The AKA Pad Effect is real. Go buy this book, and we're going to just hit that drawing table and highlight some of the pen and paper work of Frank Miller for his feature production, a major Hollywood movie. Big drop, posters everywhere, billboards everywhere. I know, guys, I know. Come over here. Yes, a lot of the movie critics, the movie reviewers like crapping on this movie. I don't know why. To me, it's enjoyable. But then again, I don't take a lot of life seriously. I enjoy myself. So let's hit that drawing table and check out some Frank Miller goodness. My AKA Padders. Sorry, I'm just taking some notes. Get yourself some of that prime drink. I need to take a sip. So, before we get any further, you guys know it. Say hello to Crypt Baby, created by Stephen Platt with a little help from the one Rob Liefeld. Guys, this is 90s gold. This is why we're on this channel. The Spirit, the movie visual companion. This should be in any Frank Miller library. Every time I get into Frank Miller's sketches and his artwork for this movie, it just makes me want to see more. And it makes me appreciate just... I have to say it. Frank Miller is a genius. Frank Miller is an absolute weapon. He's a savage. He has a vision. He has ideas. He has positioning. He has all of these things that's hard for people like us on the outside to understand when we're looking into his work and his life. And all these things intersect. Here we go. Some wonderful Frank Miller goodness right here. This is everything we wanted. But let's get into some of his penciled work. And we're just going to go page by page because I want to showcase as much about this. And look at that. I love the looseness. And we see all the Frank Miller isms. The eyes, the nose, the expression, the shrugged shoulders. And look at, guys, this is where it gets so freaking fun. And it's a little bit like watching adult movies. It gets you hot. Because this is what makes me hot. When we know we're using the side of the pencil just to shade super quick. We got the Spirit here. And it looks like a little bit of a skull head. And he's got his like hands inside the jaw. What else do you got for us, Frank? And here, look at that. Look at all the perspective lines. He's really trying to nail the visual style of this movie. And we kind of, want to say, we have Will Eisner here. He was very respectful, and it just, they talk about it here, very respectful for, it's almost like if Eisner like was kind of there, but you have to still make a book, still make a movie for an audience, and that audience is going to change from Inception versus like reality, right? Here he is, Mr. Eisner. Will Eisner really is. He's we don't do him enough on this channel because we do focus on 90s, but we will be doing an Eisner deep dive. I love this pose here. And this is, again, too, like one of the classic Frank Miller poses that is used in nearly every single one of his books. But you see he's jumping, he's in the scope here, and it looks like that the camera angle, like we start on the ground and then we kind of like pan up and he's scoped. And there he is, Mr. Miller. But we get a lot of Eisner here, and I love it. Frank Miller, like these are the things you love hearing about film production, of why did you choose this, or why, like how things end up on screen and the decision process around it. Infinitely fascinating when it comes to film production. A nice one here. The comic book movie, yes, that's the intent of this movie. Look at that pose. And we don't get a lot of Frank Miller pencils, period. Look at that pose. It's just too good. Nice motion here. I guess he's like, look, kicking off his glove. Camera follows the glove kicking off his hand. Nice hair. And look at that, those chunky pencil lines. Really cool shading. Everyone, Frank Miller and cats. This is why we're here. Look at those little cuties. Nice face off here. That knife is great. And again, we've seen that knife. This is a Frank Miller knife here. We've seen that in multiple books. I mean, this is practically a sequence in the movie. And it's tough because you have someone that visualized things so well with Will Eisner. And then you're also like a visual storyteller, mastermind, genius. And then like what's the middle ground? Like what's the middle? There has to be a middle ground, and Frank Miller knew that. He knew that was his approach, and that's our insert art we saw earlier. So if you were like, I don't know if this was Comic-Con or what, a lot of times these are the posters they would release around Comic-Con, but if you saw this and you were like a comic book fanboy, right? You may not know what this is, because you may not know who Will Eisner is. You may not, you may not make the connection. And even this is why Will Eisner is like for the diehard of people who work in comics, who study comics, the comic book historians. His work is highbrow. It really is. It's not universal. But if you saw this, you may not get excited. And I feel like that's part of the disconnect that this movie had from the very, very beginning. And I watch this movie on a regular basis. I really do. I love, like, this is with the crowbar, the freaking, the blood, the debris following the swing. And we see it here, like Frank Miller, and then we see what happens with Will Eisner. A lot of care was taken in. Like, even just like shots like this, the girl with the skateboard, beyond cool. Look at that. Look, you see like the whiteout and the fingerprints. You just see, look, he's just like splattering that whiteout. And look, he's doing it right here, like on camera. See right here. Look at that black hand. Again, and these are effects used in the movie, created by Frank Miller. He really should have continued. I don't know why he didn't. You kind of want to say the tragedy of the Spirit is that he could not continue as a filmmaker. There he is right here. Well, he's wearing a shirt that says director because the like the goons wear the shirts in this that say goons. Look at Samuel Jackson. Nice costume design work. See, like, and this is kind of cool. I'd like seeing some of this because this is where like the professionals come in. Not saying Frank Miller is not a professional. I get it. You get paid to do something that makes you professional. Is Frank Miller a professional filmmaker? Probably not. But I like it when the professionals come in and they're like, "Oh, costume design. Yeah, this is what we need. Costume design. This is what we need, guys. Let us take it over for a little bit just so we can end up with wonderful things on screen." Look at Eva Mendes. Hubba, 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 hubba. Love those shoes. Love those shoes. Yeah, let the professionals come in and be professionals. Just like top-notch stuff here. Look, I love the detail here. The color swatches, the belt detail. Really cool stuff. Yeah, and then here we go. The goon's getting lit up. And this is like, again, this is his direction based on the sketches. And this is how the shock would unfold in the movie. Staggering. Read-throughs, always fun to see pictures of that. And I think from this point on, we are limited. Oh, look at that shot. That is so many people fail at this angle. At the 3/4 up. Meaning we're seeing the whole figure, but it's like 3/4, so it's heavier on one side. If we split it, right, it's heavier on the left versus the right. He's walking, looks like he has weight, looks like there's momentum with him. Putting on the hat. That's our boy. Samuel Jackson is as the octopus. He is and look at his coat with the octopus texture. Or pattern, I'm sorry. The octopus pattern. Again, it's just entertaining. It's let's be entertained by bombshells. Let's be entertained by beautiful women and insane imagery. Look at that. That's so wild here. I mean, you see a lot of this in Dark Knight Strikes Again, right? I almost said Dark Knight Returns. Dark Knight Strikes Again. Which if you read Dark Knight Strikes Again outside of Dark Knight Returns, if you just read Dark Knight Strikes Again, it's entertaining as all hell. Yeah, here we go. See, it's their names. I'm sorry, I thought their shirt said goons, but it's their names. Yeah, and I'm not really. Is that Chris Elliott? I forget if Chris Elliott's in this. Cameo. No, it's not, but it looks like him. There we go. Look at that shot. The underwater sequence, like right here. I like that they kind of juxtapose some of it with the shooting. And guys, yes, this was a heavy green screen movie. This is how they made. This is how Robert Rodriguez and Troublemaker Films made the Sin City movies. This is how they made 300. This was in vogue at the time, and look at that. Dude, I love it when he gets crazy with the blacks. And again, too, just it's almost like he's the way out is just like another weapon for him. Look, coming out of the water, the black ooze, and look at those splatter marks. I gotta pick it up. I gotta do splatter marks like that. Here we go. Look, original Frank Miller to this is what we're doing on screen to what ends up on screen. This is what I'm talking about, the middle ground. Like, there needs to be a practical position for what the end product is going to look like. Here we go. Again, I just love the white owl and the thumbprints, and it's blotchy. It's just perfect. It's perfectly fast. Okay, like I'm not saying these are like immaculate illustrations. We're in the production, and this is what we saw in the Sucker Punch book. I love these character pages. Look at these. Aren't these so much fun? There's our kitty cat. Like, beyond fun. Look, the green world and black world. The green and black world. Look at this. This is great because he is fitting a Superman pose into a thin rectangle. Or you know, in the dimensions of our camera. There you go. More cats, guys. More cats. We're all here for the cat content. This is great too. Him sneaking up on this sniper. Look how easy he draws this vehicle. And we know what perspective it's in. The heavy shadows for the windows. The shadows for the wheel well. And the hubcaps. There we go. The douche. And again, too, if we go to like Elektra Lives Again, there's a scene where Murdoch jumps on this telephone wire that has snow on it, and his momentum brings down the wire, but the snow kind of like floats up. And Frank Miller always had a way of illustrating snow. Like, he just has a mind for it. This is great. Frank Miller pose here. Nice Frank Miller feet. This pose too for this girl too. Like, we get wonderful torque. Again, guys, you know, it's come up a few times. Torque is shoulders go this way, hips go that way. We get wonderful side boob. We get the full buttocks. Perfect. There we go. Great. Look at that sequence here. Like, this is what you want from your comic book creators. You want them to graduate to doing this type of work. Look, and I love that splatter in the corner. Running on the telephone wire. I thought the artwork slowed down here. I apologize. I just always remembered this book not having enough, but it has plenty. And for as cheap as this is, come on, we have our hero drowning in the toilet. How's he going to get out? Look at this. The giant key sequence. Right here. Like the giant wrench. It's just madness, and it's too good. It's too much fun. Here we go. If you guys seen Transformers the movie, this was Ratchet. This is really cool though, dude. Like, pulling out the guns from inside the jacket right here. The Octopus is such a great villain. Such a great villain. Like, look at again, like bringing the comic book idea into this. Like, the modern audience idea. Because not everything... Look, you can go traditional sometimes. It may not work. You can try what he did here. It may not work. You can find some weird balance, right? That may not work. It's a lot of it is how audiences receive the work. Look at that green screen. Really nice. I don't even care about the box office for this movie, what it did or what the budget was. It's just out of my perception. It's just away from how I read the movie. And look, here we go. We have this somewhat of a dream sequence here. And look, exactly how he illustrated it. This is great too. Look at her. Look at the embrace. His figure drawing for everything we've seen here. This is some of the absolute best. And again, sometimes this is how the artist should exist. but then you have to ink it and color it and publish it, and we don't get this. This dies in the process. I do believe that. I kind of want to watch this now. I am hyping myself up to sit down and watch this movie again, and then I'll watch Sin City. Yeah, I love these posters, by the way. Great ad posters. On your knees, then. Keep the mask on. Like, so awesome. Yeah, and My City Screams. Again, a Will Eisner direct reference. Again, fantastic poses here. See, and I almost want to like get into a run of drawing like the Frank Miller resting hand. Again, more with the cat. Well, at least we're wrapping this up with the cat, right? Production crew. Again, look at AKA Padders. This sucker is cheap on the market. I looked it up before doing the video. It's cheap on Amazon. It's cheap on eBay. I've seen this in used bookstores all around Philly. It's one of the only books of this type that I have seen used. Do yourself a favor and open your eyes, open your mind. It's okay to get into things that the rest of the world, for some reason, hates. It's okay to find your own voice.